Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus.
The 28th regular session of the UN Human Rights Council got underway in Geneva today and Sri Lanka too was mentioned.
What transpired at the Council today? We have all this and more coming up on the bulletin. Let's start off with a look at the headlines.
A Navy unit was involved in the disappearances of several youth from Colombo. Revelation from the police. Bribery Commission records a statement from MP Sajid Divas Gunawardena. Developments in the village Sudha intrigue. Police make another arrest in connection with the drug racket. Strike action by long-haul private bus service employees concludes.
President Maithripala Sirisena says that the approach adopted by the world powerhouses to invade smaller countries has changed. The president made this statement at the commemoration ceremony of Venerable Varyapola Sumangala Thera.
The memorial of Venerable Varyapola Sumangala Thero was ceremoniously held today at the Sri Sumangala Temple in Varyapola.
සමහර වෙලාවට අපේ ගෞරවනීය ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේලා
At certain instances, various views are being expressed on the involvement of the clergy in the sphere of politics. Venerable Varyapola Sumangala Thero rendered a human service to the nation in this regard. There is a major difference between the sacrifices made by patriotic political personalities and those who sacrifice their life on behalf of the nation. We have to take this country forward with a proper understanding, and our objective should be to build our nation based on the challenges posed to us commercially and through the evolution of technology. World powers invade small countries in a much different manner in comparison to the past.
ප්‍රබල රාජ්‍යයන් කුඩා රාජ්‍යයන් ආක්‍රමණය කරන්නේ එදා ආක්‍රමණය කරපු ආකාරයට නෙවෙයි වෙනස් විදියකට.
200 years ago, that is in the year 1815, on a day like today, the British took over the rule of this country following an agreement signed in Kandy. Venerable Sri Sumangala Thero is known for taking down the Union Jack and rehoisting the Sinhalese national flag before the convention that handed over control of the country to the British in 1815. The struggle for independence commenced subsequently and came to an end on the 4th of February 1948, giving Sri Lanka full independence from the British.
The Colombo Chief Magistrate ordered the Criminal Investigations Department to carry out investigations on a Navy camp dubbed Gotabe located in Mullaitivu and furnish a report on their findings to court. The order was made following the magisterial inquest into the kidnapping of a group of school children in Dehiwala in the year 2008.
A petition was filed at the Court of Appeal in 2011 with regard to an alleged kidnapping of a group of school children in Dehiwala on the 17th of August 2008. The magisterial inquiry pertaining to the kidnapping was directed to the Magistrates' Court and the matter was taken up before the Chief Magistrate today. The lawyer of the defence requested courts to carry out an investigation and a report be submitted to ascertain whether the missing children are being housed at the Gotabe Navy camp.
Information has come to light that the group of missing children are in the Gotabe Navy camp. The parents of these children have requested their lawyer to urge court to carry out an investigation into this. The court in turn ordered the CID to conduct investigations. Thereby, the court will reconvene on the 23rd of next month and a report will be presented.
On the 23rd of April, they will carry out an investigation and see if there are any children present at the said location. We will wait. If the Navy claims that they had taken our children away, we expect them to return our children as well.
Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rona says that the involvement of a group of Navy personnel has been uncovered in the disappearance of a group of youth between 2008 and 2009. SSP Rohan noted that Navy media spokesperson Captain DKP Dasanayaka was questioned by the Criminal Investigations Department recently in connection with this revelation.
There have been many incidents where children have been reported missing, especially in Mattakulia, Colombo between 2008 and 2009. As it was believed to be organized crime, the Criminal Investigations Department received a complaint in 2010. After a long period of investigation, it was revealed that a group of Navy personnel were connected to these disappearances. That is why we had to call in the former Navy spokesperson to obtain a written statement. The group in question served under him for a long period.
සේවය කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒ අර කණ්ඩායම් පැහැරගෙන කරපු කණ්ඩායමක් පාරවද මේ දසනායක මහතා ඉඳලා තියෙන්නේ. දැන් ඒ සිද්ධියට අදාළ කියන තොරතුරු ලැබිලා තියෙන ඒ කණ්ඩායමක අධීක්ෂණ නිලධාරියා හැටියට කටයුතු කරලා තියෙනවා. මේ සුදුවෑන්නේ කාලේ තිබ්බ ඒ බීතියට සම්බන්ධ කාරණයක්ද? ඔව් වෑන් රථ වලිනුත් රැගෙන ගොස් තිබෙනවා වෙනත් ආකාරයකටත් රැගෙන ගොස් තිබෙනවා. ඒ ඒකේ කොහෙද තිබිලා තියෙන්නේ? ඒ ඒකකයේ ත්‍රිකුණාමලෙත් එක් කොටසක් තිබිලා තියෙනවා. මේ කොටුව ආසන්න ප්‍රදේශෙත් එහි කොටසක් තිබිලා තියෙනවා. මොකද කියලා තියෙන නම මොකද? ඒකට මොකක් සඳහා විශේෂ මෙහෙයුම් මේකකයක්. ඒකෙන් මේ නාවික හමුදාපති පිටියේ හිටියේ කරන්නකොට මහත්තයා. ඒතකොට ඔහු නොදැනුවත්වද මේක ක්‍රියාත්මක? නෑ අත වශයෙන්ම ඔහු තමයි මේ සම්බන්ධ මුල් තොරතුරු ලබා දීලා තියෙන්නේ. ඔහු යටතේ ඉන්න කණ්ඩායමක් විසින් මේ ක්‍රියාව සිදු කරනවා. සිටියේදී ඒ කාලෙම නේද මේක ප්‍රශ්න කරන්න තිබ්බේ මේ කණ්ඩායම ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා කියනකොට. මෙහිදී එක් පුද්ගලයෙක් සම්බන්ධයෙන් දිගින් දිගටම විමර්ශන සිදු කළ අවුරුදු කිහිපයක්ම ඒ සිදු කරලා තමයි මේ ඉතුරු කරුණු සොයා ගැනීමට හැකියාව ලැබෙන්නේ.
A cargo plane allegedly used by the aviation company owned by MP Sajin Divas Gunawardena is currently at the Katunayaka International Airport.
The official website of the aviation company, allegedly owned by MP Sajin Divas Gunawardena, lists cargo transport between India and Sri Lanka as being among the services it provides. The pictures and information on this website reveal that the plane in question is a Boeing 727. While the plane is not in production anymore, a 727 which is in flying condition typically costs upward of $2 million. The website of this aviation company, reported to be owned by Sajin Divas Gunawardena, states that it carries out cargo transport services in countries in the SAARC region jointly with Sri Lankan Airlines. However, the 727, which has a Lankan cargo emblazoned on it, has been parked in front of the section of the cargo terminal at the BIA, which is used by Sri Lankan Airlines. The plane was seen parked at the BIA this evening as well. According to airport authorities, a sum of $4,000 must be paid each month to park such an aircraft at this location. How did the aviation company, reportedly owned by Sajin Divas Gunawardena, come to be in possession of this 727? Who is the actual owner of this aircraft?
The Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption has recorded a statement from MP Sajin Divas Gunawardena. The Commission noted that the statement was recorded after considering a complaint that had been lodged. The Commission added that investigations into the matter have commenced.
Police say that another drug kingpin allegedly connected to the large-scale drug racket in the country has been arrested today based on information recorded from Vele Sudha.
Police media spokesperson SSP Ajit Rohana stated that the suspect, a resident of Dehiwala, had been arrested in a Chena in Habarana. Subsequent investigations resulted in police confiscating a luxury jeep and another vehicle.
Vele Sudha ගැන අපි ප්‍රකාශ කරන අවස්ථාවේදී ඔහුගේ ප්‍රකාශයකින් යම් මන්ත්‍රී
When we recorded statements from Vele Sudha, he revealed the details of a particular MP. We are engaged in conducting continuous investigations in that regard. Yesterday, the CID was able to apprehend one of his main agents who facilitated drug dealing from Pakistan. This person was arrested at a Chena in Murugaswava in Habarana. He is a resident of Ratnakara Place, Dehiwala. He is Suraj Ahmad.
හේනක වාඩියක සිටියේදී මේ පුද්ගලයා අත්අඩංගුවට ගන්න ලැබුවා. ඔහු දෙහිවල රත්නකාර ප්‍රදේශයේ පදිංචි පුද්ගලයෙක් සුරාස් අහමඩ් නැමැති.
Do police records indicate MP Duminda Silva's involvement in previous cases of drug dealing?
ලේඛනගතව
I am unable to say if it is recorded in writing. I will have to make references before I make statements on it.
කරලා බලන්න ඕනේ කියලා. වෙලේසුදාගේ සිද්ධියේදී
Details of a former IGP were clearly recorded in statements of Vele Sudha. Now the chapter on the IGP is closed. There is no way of recording a statement from him as he is no longer in the country.
We have taken the initial steps based on Vele Sudha's statements about an MP. Secondly, it will be based on what you just questioned about. Thirdly, steps will be taken based on other revelations. We will continuously conduct investigations in this regard.
Former Minister Mahinda Yapa has challenged the government to reveal all the names mentioned by the notorious drug baron Vele Sudha in his statements to the police. He extended this challenge at a media briefing held in Waligama yesterday.
Duminda Silva මන්ත්‍රීතුමාගේ නම කියවුණා වෙලේ සුදාගේ.
Vele Sudha revealed the name of Duminda Silva. I challenged the government to reveal the other names mentioned in Vele Sudha's interrogation. Vele Sudha questioned as to what would the country get. If you can reveal the details that were said in the interrogation in writing, we can take this to court. I challenged the police media spokesperson to say the other names instead of talking like a parrot. We know who they are. They will never reveal these names, and the same thing what happened to other Sudhas will happen to him. They are planning to run for elections upon the mud that is currently being slung at them.
මේ දින 100 ඇතුළත මඩ ගහගන්න. මොකද ඊට පස්සේ ඡන්දකට යන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන් බලනවා මේ මඩ උඩි. එහෙම නැතුව මේ වැඩක් කරන්න නෙමෙයි මේ හදා.
We know who the UNP really are.
හොඳින් හඳුනාගෙන ඉන්න.
6 UPFA councillors defected from pledging their support to the new Chief Minister of the Eastern Province today. They stated today that they will withdraw affidavits filed to pledge their support to the Chief Minister.
Aryavati Galapati from the United People's Freedom Alliance assumed duties as the Eastern Province Minister of Education, Lands and Land Development, Information Technology and Youth Affairs this morning. Meanwhile, a group of UPFA provincial councillors met the governor of the province, Austin Fernando, and stated that they wish to withdraw the affidavits filed by them to pledge their support to the new Chief Minister. The provincial councillors who thus provided with the withdrawal of their affidavits included Vimalavira Dissanayaka, Uduma Lebbe, MLA Amir, WD Veerasinghe, DM Jayasena and Jayantha Vijay Sekara, representing the National Freedom Front.
We have presented affidavits for Nazir Ahmed solely to make changes to the chief ministerial post, but he did not look into the appointments of the other councillors from the 5th of last month. He had invited 2 councillors representing the TNA to accept the appointments without discussing it with us. They have taken steps to take the chief ministerial post and the other posts, but denied the United People's Freedom Alliance of the due 3 appointments and put it out for auction. We have expressed our protest. We are taking a unanimous decision to remove the support given to them. In the coming days, we will take the necessary steps to render our support to appoint another chief minister.
The total number of seats within the Eastern Provincial Council is 37. 14 belong to the United People's Freedom Alliance, 1 seat is by the National Freedom Front and 7 seats are held by the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress. Thereby, the ruling party holds 22 seats at the Provincial Council. 4 seats are held by the United National Party, and with the merging of 11 seats belonging to the Tamil National Alliance, the total number of seats in the opposition stood at 15. A few days ago, 14 UPFA provincial councillors filed affidavits in order to appoint Hafiz Nazir Ahmed as the Chief Minister of the province. During this time, 6 out of 7 SLMC provincial councillors pledged their support to Hafiz Nazir Ahmed. Thereby, 20 provincial councillors pledged their support to the Chief Minister. Today, with 6 provincial councillors having defected, the Chief Minister is left with just 14 provincial councillors on his side.
The Court of Appeal dismissed a writ petition that had been filed by former Uva Province Chief Minister Shashindra Rajapaksa challenging the deprivation of his position. Today's decision by the 2-judge bench comprising of the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Vijit Malalgoda and Justice H.C.J. Madawala means that Harin Fernando may continue to function as the Chief Minister of the Uva Province.
Shashinta Rajapaksa presented a petition to court saying that he was elected as the Chief Minister at the Provincial Council elections, but that he was removed from his post illegally, and opposition leader Harin Fernando was given his post. He requested that the ruling be quashed, as the only reason Harin Fernando was appointed as the Chief Minister was due to 5 MPs of the government pledging their support to him. The lawyer representing Harin Fernando argued that based on 4 facts, the petition could not be reviewed by court. The decision of the court was to consider one of the 4 preliminary objections on behalf of Harin Fernando and quash the petition. We are hoping to file a number of cases presenting several other writ petitions of ministers, including General Secretary of the UPFA Susil Premajayanta. This will be against all of those who contravene party laws by giving affidavits blatantly breaching the party's discipline and the mandate of the people. The UPFA and the SLFP is ready to take rigorous measures with regard to this.
Private bus employees have concluded the strike action. They commenced citing 11 demands.
The token strike commenced at midnight yesterday. The demonstration was staged by drivers and conductors employed by long-haul services operating from the Bastion Mawata bus depot in Petta. The Association of Long-Distance Bus Employees put forth 11 demands to the authorities in charge. Bus employees who charge that they are charged costs in an unfair manner and are given limited facilities express their anger by setting fire to the uniforms given to them.
This is an identity card. Now this has to be renewed every 3 years. We need to submit medical reports too. This was previously issued at 500 rupees and now the cost has been increased to 1,500 rupees. With the expiration of the license issued by the NTC, I paid a fine of 2,000 rupees. The officer asked me to come the next day. I went there and there was no license handed over to me. I went back home, carried out my operational activities, and the NTC again asked me to change the sheet stating that it won't suffice, and then signed me up for another one. If they are going to issue another one after making a payment of 2,000 rupees, is this humane? We struggle to earn a living. We need to submit 2 medical reports a year. We are only exempted from a death certificate, and they charge 750 rupees for this. What we received was a handbill distributed by them today. We were not notified about a strike action, nor were we made aware of their 11 demands. And following a telephone call, we asked them to come for a discussion at around 2:30 p.m. And following this, 3 representatives from Madura came for the discussions. They presented several demands raised against the National Transport Commission. They held discussions with the board of directors and then they left.
Bus employees from Panadura, Kurunagala and Mathura expressed their solidarity by refraining from duties. The sudden strike action resulted in thousands of commuters who arrived in Colombo being severely inconvenienced. The general public have been severely inconvenienced after paying to obtain a ticket from the conductors and drivers who earn their living through the money collected from these commuters.
This is a dilemma. There is no bus, no trains, it has left already. We must attend to work on time. We have been severely inconvenienced. I have been anxiously waiting to travel to Monoragala since 5 this morning. The productivity in the bus transportation sector is depleting day by day. The rate of long-distance bus accidents has rapidly increased. Several problems pertaining to the manner in which passengers are addressed, the problem with returning the change, the public is disgusted at this mode of transport. That is why the public has resorted to commuting in SLTV buses. Now this group is further contributing towards the public's disgust towards them. 2 weeks ago, our association informed them of the shortcomings in the National Transportation Committee and the Ministry of Transport, but until this day we have not been granted an opportunity to discuss this, nor have we been given a solution.
The citizens of the North have come together to reap the benefits of good governance upon the election of President Maithripala Sirisena. Our correspondent noted that people in Jaffna have great expectations after it was reported that the President would be visiting Jaffna.
Jaffna, which was left in the dark due to the 30-year-old war, has been brought back to life once again. A plan has been drawn up to provide basic infrastructure facilities to the people of Jaffna, which will pave the way for economic development. The people of Jaffna expressed their views on the future.
The President, who is due to arrive in Jaffna, should look into the problems that we face and provide us a proper solution. We have faith that our representatives will implement the program for this.
It is an honor for us that the President of our country, Maithripala Sirisena, is coming here. That is why the people here are very happy. We have several requests to make from the President. Our graduates have not been granted employment for the past 4 years. Adding to this, our active teachers and health officials have not been given permanent jobs. We trust that the President will provide solutions to the problems that we are currently facing.
During his visit, the President is due to inquire into the needs of the people and inspect development activity in the district.
Minister Mangala Samarveera says that the OHCHR investigation on Sri Lanka, or OISL report, would be considered by domestic mechanisms established to consider human rights concerns. The minister was speaking at the high-level segment of the 28th session of the UN Human Rights Council, which commenced today in Geneva, Switzerland.
On the first Independence Day ceremony in Sri Lanka since the election, on the 4th of February, the government, departing from previous practice, acknowledged past tragedies that had taken place in the country and emphasized the urgent need for healing and unity. A commitment was made to ensure that never again will the country be allowed to be traumatized by the shedding of blood of her own citizens.
Speaking further, the minister had this to say.
The end of terrorism in May 2009 during the previous administration, though not without cost, was a necessity without which the restoration of human rights could not be achieved. However, with the government at that time choosing to operate with a sense of impunity and triumphalist approach, opportunities for reconciliation and restoration of human rights suffered. The contents of the report of the OHCHR investigation on Sri Lanka too will be taken into account by domestic investigative and judicial mechanisms which we are in the process of setting up. I urge this Council, the High Commissioner, our bilateral partners, international organizations, and also the Sri Lankan diaspora, all who wish our country to succeed, to trust us, have faith in us, support us, and strengthen our hands.
Consider the indispensable role the HRC has played in encouraging leaders to live up to their promises and commitments in countries such as Burma and Sri Lanka, where there are opportunities for real change. The wheels of justice may not turn as rapidly as all of us would wish, but the foundation for establishing justice is being prepared.
In his statement at the opening of the session, UN Human Rights Chief Said Rad Al Hussein made the following remarks.
Some policymakers persuade themselves that their circumstances are exceptional, creating a wholly new reality unforeseen by the law. This logic is abundant around the world today. I arrest arbitrarily and torture because a new type of war justifies it. I spy on my citizens because the fight against terrorism requires it. I don't want new immigrants, so I discriminate against minorities because our communal identity is being threatened now as never before. I kill without any form of due process because if I do not, others will kill me. And so it goes, on, as we spiral into aggregating crises.
Minister of Housing and Samurdhi Sajith Premadasa says that the constitution of the UN Security Council is in itself a contradiction of the UN Charter. He made this statement at the closing ceremony of the Colombo Model United Nations 2015 held in Colombo yesterday.
Mind you, the United Nations concept itself has certain inherent contradictions and weaknesses. If you examine the United Nations Charter, it commences with the words sovereign equality of nations, sovereign equality of nation states. However, the main decision-making body of the United Nations consists of a group of superpowers, which in itself contradicts the stipulations in the United Nations Charter. The Charter also prohibits internal intervention in the internal affairs of states. However, when issues of peace and security are deemed important and prioritized in the political agenda, this particular prohibition, which inhibits states from interfering in the internal affairs of other states, is conveniently pushed aside, and the provisions of use of force comes into operation.
Model United Nations, also known as Model UN or MUN, is an educational simulation and academic competition in which students learn about diplomacy, international relations and the United Nations. Community Service Awards, Runner-Up School Awards and Best School Award were presented to the participants at the event.
UNP MP Buddhika Pathirana says the third golden opportunity to build the nation is dawned. The MP made this statement at an event held to accept sporting goods and musical instruments donated from Japan for preschools and sports clubs in the Makara district.
ස්වර්ණමය අවස්ථා තුනක් ලැබුණා රට ගොඩනගන්න. සුනාමි කියද වාචිකය. හැබැයි මේ අවස්ථාව
I believe that there were three opportunities to rebuild this country, the tsunami catastrophe. However, at that time, political parties fulfilled their narrow-minded agendas because of their greed for power. The second was the end of the three-decade war. Power-greedy politics took away that opportunity. Now we have been given the third opportunity. For the first time in history, there is reconciliation among the main political parties. At the same time, the opposition is making constructive criticism. We believe that this is the golden opportunity that we should not let go of.
මේක තමයි ඉතිහාසයේ අපි අත් නොහල යුතු ඉතිහාසයේ අපි තදින් අල්ලාගත යුතු ස්වර්ණමය අවස්ථාව.
The equipment was presented to the MP at this occasion. Another notable feature was that Japan-Sri Lanka Friendship Scholarships were presented to university students who had lost their parents. A rescue vehicle worth 15 million rupees, which can be used to rescue persons in the event of a fire, was presented to the President in order to be vested with the Sri Lanka Air Force. The vehicle was presented by MP Buddhika Pathirana to mark the occasion by the Japan-Sri Lanka Friendship Foundation.
A group of farmers engaged in a protest blocking the Mahiyanga near Ampara main road this morning. The farmers charged that they did not receive paddy seedlings at a concessionary rate.
Farmers of 10 villages belonging to the Nagadeepa project engaged in the demonstration blocking the Ampara main road near the 49th mile post junction. They charged that they have not received paddy seedlings worth 2,800 rupees to be harvested per acre. They only gave paddy seedlings to the Ridhimali at the area in 2014. It is only in our area that we did not receive these paddy seedlings. We are destitute families.
After the elections, no one came to look into the plight of poor farmers like us.
Vehicular movement in the area was disrupted for a period of 1.5 hours owing to the protest. Thereafter, UNP Uva Provincial Councillor Upali Sena Ratna arrived at the scene of the demonstration. The demonstrators dispersed after the councillor promised them that steps will be taken to provide paddy seedlings within the next 10 days.
And on this first night, the All Ceylon Peasants Union has requested the government to enforce by law the stipulated price introduced for purchasing of paddy. They pointed out that if it is not given legitimacy, there is no point in introducing a stipulated price for paddy purchases.
During this Maha harvest, the government purchased Nadu rice at the cost of 45 rupees per kilogram and a kilogram of samba at 50 rupees. However, the government purchases only 10% of the country's total paddy produce. Addressing a press briefing in Dambulla today, the All Ceylon Peasants Union raised concerns that there has been no change in prices in accordance with the introduction of a stipulated paddy purchase price. Paddy is sold at a range of 28 to 35 rupees per kilo. That is why we continue to urge the government to legally enforce the stipulated price for paddy. The poor peasants' paddy will not be sold for black market prices if the stipulated price introduced for paddy is legalized. If the government fails to fulfill this, we must come to the realization that the government stands for the handful of persons who handle the paddy and rice market.
Sirius FM, the ancestral home of modern radio broadcasting in Sri Lanka, celebrates its 21st birthday today.
Sirius FM was born in March 1994, revolutionizing the radio industry and rejuvenating the communication sector in the country. On the 24th of January 1995, Sirius FM marked another key juncture in the history of radio in Sri Lanka, becoming the first 24-hour Sinhala language radio broadcaster. Applauded and awarded for its novel content and innovation over the years, Sirius FM has gone from strength to strength. Sirius FM, which has been the people's radio station for several years, since 2006, is celebrating its 21st birthday today under the theme Sri Lankawe Radiopati.
මේ අපි 21 වෙනි අවුරුද්දටයි පාතබන්නේ මෙතනින් අපි අපේ නාලිකාව සුපුරුදු පරිදි
We are stepping forward into our 21st year with our station positioned firmly at number 1. So this year we will adopt the theme Lankawe Radiopati. This year you will be able to see many promotional concerts and also witness conceptual changes to our programming. March has been named the Sirius FM anniversary month, and throughout March we will be holding various religious and social programs, and we will also continue to render support in sports and other fields.
දායකත්වය අපි මේ වසරේ ලබා දෙන්න කල්පනා කරනවා.
A lecture titled Find the Missing Piece, organized by the Kanapati Chetty Selvanathan Charitable Trust and the Vedanta Institute in Colombo, commenced yesterday and will be held until the 4th of March 2015.
The discussion focused on the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, categorized by Swami Parthasarathy, the founder of the Vedanta Institute in Colombo. A number of prominent personalities attended the lecture, including the Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Y.K. Singha. The chief guest at the event was Venerable Olande Ananda Thero. Sunandaji, who has also addressed corporate organizations and universities worldwide on the practical application of Vedanta in daily life, was amongst the speakers.
The principle of education is, the very principle of education is, you must go from what you know to the unknown. Otherwise you cannot learn. If I talk about infinite love, infinite mercy, you will never understand it. You can talk about it because infinite cannot be captured by the intellect. It's beyond the intellect. It's beyond your comprehension. So when you talk in unknown terms, we talk about and about, like Omar Khayyam said. We talk about and about, and you walk out of the same door you came in. No impact, nothing. Just that you spent an evening. Now what we're trying to do here is take home something. Think about it, because it's your life.
And that's a look at your Love at 55 news update, or rather your primetime news update for tonight. Thanks a lot for joining us. I'm Shane Silva.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus. It was an absolute pleasure joining. Take care and good night.